we're sitting here at the anniversary, at the 20th anniversary of an organization that is very important in the governance of international shipping. And that organization is the Port State Control Memorandum of Understanding. Now, this is an organization that upholds the integrity of shipping. All ships must, during the course of their trade, visit ports. Now, International Maritime Organization sets up that system that every port, every ship will get inspected when it gets into a port. That is the only way they would guarantee that each and every ship upholds the integrity of international regulations. Now, International Maritime Organization has segmented the world into various regions, and for this 20th meeting of the Indian Ocean Memorandum of Understanding, which is the region to which South Africa belongs, we've got two other visitors. The first one is the Caribbean MOU, as well as the Paris MOU. Now, in Africa, we've got three memorandum of understanding. We've got one for the North African countries. You've got one for the West African countries. It's called the Abuja MOU. You've got the one for the East African countries. It's called the Indian Ocean Memorandum of Understanding. South Africa belongs to two MOUs because it has got ports on the East Coast and on the West Coast. We belong to the Abuja MOU to the extent that two ports, Cape Town as well as Saldanha Bay, fall on the West Coast. And we belong to the Indian Ocean Memorandum of Understanding because all the rest of the ports fall on the Indian Ocean side of things. The only other country to have this dual membership is Australia. They belong to the Indian Ocean because their eastern seaboard is part of the Indian Ocean, and they belong to the Tokyo MOU because their northern seaboard is on the Pacific. Now, the importance of the Port State Control MOU on Port State Control is that, as we were saying, we use the Port State Control regime to ensure that every ship upholds the integrity of international shipping. Now, the challenges that international shipping is faced with are those of necessity, the compliance with safety and environmental protection. But we see a need for shipping to take charge of the future, to support humanity going forward. So the fourth industrial revolution is going to be a large part of shipping. And we need then the Port State Control MOUs to embrace that future, to start developing guidelines to ensure that we are able to inspect ships of the future and we are able to inform the discussions on what that shipping is going to look like going forward. The key tenet of the MOU is that of capacity development, and that is done through technical cooperation. South Africa hosts a whole lot of trainings on Port State Control, a whole lot of specific, we call it a concentrated inspection regime. They choose any part of the ship. I can imagine that with the low sulfur fuel regulations coming in, there's likely to be a concentrated inspection regime targeting that low sulfur fuels. And the good thing about it being part of the MOU is that then you use collective wisdom. That which one administration experiences might just be the same like what we experience. So the MOU then tends to give us one set of rules to apply in inspecting those ships. So we do hope and believe that by strengthening this MOU, we are going to improve the entire compliance regime for the world, and we would have played our part as a region, and we hope that if each and every other region plays their part, you're going to have a much improved shipping compliance internationally. We've already seen international compliance increasing, and it is our view that if we really work at tightening up our inspection regime, we're going to see an even bigger improvement. We're grateful to the Indian Ocean MOU for having chosen South Africa at this point of the life of the MOU, having been the founding country to the MOU, having held the inaugural meeting. It is just befitting that on the 20th anniversary milestone, everything comes back to South Africa. And it just shows that South Africa is really on course to continuing to exert its own international influence, and that's really on our roadmap to becoming an international maritime center.
Sir, thank you very much.